Hey friends, how you doing? Coach John here, and today I wanted to introduce you to my foundational movements. These are what I call the key movements of health and wellness. These are athletic movements. These are balance, stability, and strength movements, whole body health and wellness. I want to make you strong and lean and energetic. I want to get you optimistic and healthy, even if you have never done it before. Even if you've never been in fitness before, if you're an absolute beginner. If you're just trying to get into it, if you're an absolute beginner, this is a great way to get started with these foundational exercises I'm going to teach today. If you're an absolute beginner, or if you've been out of it for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years or 30 years, however long, it doesn't matter, you can get started again. And I want to show you that it needs to be happening in a different way if you're coming to your middle ages. Let's get out of kind of the old way of doing it, and let's get into a new collective full body functional way of doing our exercise, and not make our exercise about killing ourselves, but make our exercise about invigorating ourselves and picking up our energy for the day. So I want to make a little shift in the mindset with our understanding of exercise, and here are 21 foundational movements that I think need to be a part of your exercise plan, and they certainly are a part of my exercise plan. And so anyone that was going to do an exercise plan with me, I'd want to move through this physical assessment with them first. And the first exercise that I would want to work on, just to do a little bit of testing, just to see where you're at. Flexibility, strength, stability, range of motion. I'm just going to start with the high knee or the front kick, and it depends, whatever level of fitness you're at. So, I just assess someone at the beginning, having a little bit of dialogue and find out what's most appropriate for them. But what I'm looking for is 30 to 50 alternating front kicks. Let's see how that goes right now. 30 to 50 kicks, and I'm pulling through my core, and I'm kicking out through the back of my hamstrings. I'm just going to turn on our clock so we've got some 30-second chimes there. And I'll know that, sometimes it's hard for me to keep on counting and talking about these exercises. I want to get 30 front kicks. I want to work through the back of my legs. I want to work through the hip flexors. I want to warm up my body. That's going to get my body breathing, and this is what it's about. I want to really get my body breathing for the day, and I want to take some nice deep full breaths, and I want to get conscious of my breath. Here I am working on my front kicks, 30 to 50 kicks. That would be something that I would want to see anyone that's getting started with me kind of do, just to see where they are at. Just getting myself going for the day. Just working through my 21 foundational movements. This is my startup physical assessment. My next one, I'm just going to bend over. So I'm working on a bit of flexibility. I'm letting go through the back of my legs. Forward flexion. Letting go through my hamstrings. Stretching out and just breathing. Nice deep full breaths. From there, I want to add some balance, some strength, and some flexibility. I want to lift one leg high, then the other leg high. And let's try again. 30, 40, or 50 of those. Flexibility, range of motion, just getting the body moving, bending, stretching, breathing, waking you up for the day. Lifting through the back of the legs. Let's see, 30 to 50 lifts to the back. Stretching and strengthening, flexibility through the hamstrings. Nice, deep, full breaths. Just wake it up. So, you know, when anyone's getting started, I want to find out if there's any problems with the body. Aches or pains, lack or limitation in the body. I kind of want to check out a couple of things just to see how your balance, your strength, and your stability is. My next one here, I'm working on my hip abduction. Same thing though, now I'm working on the sides of my hips. I did the front kicks, I was working on the front of my hips. I did the back kicks, I was warming up the back of my hips and the back of my body. Now I'm working into my side hips, side body, working into the glutes, working into the glute minimus, glute medius, right? These are the stability muscles, these are the agility muscles, and these are the muscles of running. Right, so we want to work on those, balance and stability. Right, balance and stability. It's these glutes. These are core muscles. Let's see, 30 to 50, right, hip abductions. Working on the hips. Right, if you want to, you know, move around in the winter time and you slip on the ice and you want to try to catch yourself, you want to have that agility. You want to have that glute strength, and this is the hip work, the hip action. So warming up the sides of the hips, 30 to 50 alternating hip abductions. Wonderful. Next one I like to do every day, that I like to include in my everyday type of program, is my deep knee bend or my full squat. I want to keep both my feet flat on the floor. I want to drop my butt all the way down and come all the way up. I want to work through a nice full range of motion. I want to warm up the hips and the thighs. I want to warm up the knees. I want to drop my butt down and come on up. I want to do my best knee bends for the day. Right? You want to warm up the biggest muscles in your body for the day. These are the muscles that influence your hormones the most. These biggest muscles in the glutes, in the thighs, and the hips. So we want to make sure we activate those. Do our best. Bending our knees, warming up, coming up. Now, of course, if you've got some limitations in the knees or in your strength, then we just do little ones. You know, we can modify something for you, and that's what I really like about the physical assessment, is I like to kind of see and feel and find out where a person is right at the beginning. If I was going to be working with them, I want to know where the blockage is, what's challenging for you, where do we need to work on flexibility, range of motion. We're trying to create alignment. We're trying to stimulate our body, not annihilate the body. I want to put some energy in the body. Next one here, I'm dropping down into my high plank. And I'm just looking out over top of my fingers, holding myself flat to the floor. And just working on some nice, deep, full breaths. Those deep, natural breaths, parasympathetic breaths, those are balancing for the body. Just tuning into yourself, just tuning into your body, just listening to your own breath. There's nothing more personal than a little personal observation of your breathing and your efforts, your work, your movement. You're just focusing down on yourself. I'm working on the front of my body, my chest and arms. I'm working on my core. I'm working on my hip flexors. I'm working on myself. I think it's important just to come to that sort of realization every single day. I am working on myself. I am a work in progress. Like, this is something that needs to become ongoing. So this is a lifestyle that I'm teaching. This is a lifestyle approach to my health where I'm taking charge
of my health. Here I am working on my full sit-ups. I'm working on my physical and my mental wellness, right, for the day. Here I am opening and contracting. I'm moving and breathing. Inhale here, extend, inhale, contract, exhale through the middle, inhale, extend, contract through the diaphragm, contract, squeeze, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Just tuning into your breath. Let's see, what, 20, 30 full sit-ups? What can you do? And if you like to go harder, we bend the elbows. That just makes it a little more challenging. If you want to go harder, you put those hands at your head, right? If you need to go harder, but this is great. Just reach for the toes, middle-aged fitness. Inhale, exhale, working on 30 of those. If you need to take a break anytime, you just take a break. This isn't about killing ourselves. Truly, I'm teaching people that this is about loving yourself. This is about giving love and care to yourself. Physical and mental care to yourself for the day. I'm just getting myself started in the very best way that I can. Just charging up the batteries for the day. Inhale, exhale, balancing ourselves naturally with our breath. Coming up from there, one of my favorites, I like to work on my side lunges, right? Just working on my hips, alternating sides, straightening out one leg, straightening out the other leg, both feet flat on the floor. Just leaning over, I'm working into my lower body. I'm warming up in the inner thighs. I'm warming up the hips, right? Warming up the lower back. I'm waking up the body. Stretching and strengthening the body. Let's see, 30 alternating side lunges. If you like, you can add the reach for the floor, so you're getting the hamstring stretch, right? If you like, you can come across your body, right? We can make it a hamstring twist, right? Twist. You can also just work extension. I'm just opening up through the front, through the chest and the shoulders of my body. I'm working on my alternating side lunges. I want to work into my hips and thighs. Next, I'm working in my alternating back lunges. Let's see. 10 alternating reverse lunges. Your best reverse lunges for the day. Working through your best range of motion. And if you can't do deep lunges yet, if you're just getting started, then this is what I want to know. Can we just do, what can we do instead of, I can't do that. What can we do? Let's talk about what we can do rather than what we can't do. So if you're going to get involved in the program, here's an alternate to lunging like that. We're just doing a little bit of this is where, your start here, right? Or if you can't carry your weight on one leg, then we just start here. We're still strengthening the legs, and with strengthening, it will come. We just have to kind of stick with it. This is how it happens, through sticking with it, through practicing these things. That's how we get better. Next one here, I'm just dropping down into my elbow plank. I was up in my high plank. I'm down in my low plank. I'm working on the front of my body. I'm working on my core. I'm working on my chest and shoulders. I'm just working on my nice, deep, full breaths. Can you get 30 seconds in the plank? Can you get a minute? Can you get 90 seconds in the plank? What can you do? If you got to put your knees down, you can do plank from your knees. If you need to take a break and come down to your knees, just take a break. pop yourself back up when you're ready to go again. And if you're not ready to go again, you just want to stay down on your knees, then just stay down on your knees. But this is just it. I want to assess to see where you are at. Next one, let's flip over onto our backs and let's work on our leg raise. Here I am working on my leg raise. I'm working on 10 to 30 of those leg raises. If you can't lift both of your legs 10 times yet or 5 times yet, if that's too much for your back or your core, if you're just getting started, then just go one leg at a time. This is not about killing yourself, but this is why we do an assessment to kind of see where we're at, and also to introduce alternatives so that, you know, when we get started with the program, if you need to do an alternative, you just do an alternative. But if you practice every single day in our program, which is a 7-day-a-week program, if you practice these movements every day, moving and breathing and thinking and speaking, if you start getting into a positive, proactive, natural health lifestyle, well, you're only going to get better. This is how it goes. Just arithmetic, just adding, stacking healthy, natural things together. Oxygen alkalizes the body. Breathing alkalizes the body, balances the body. Plants, natural foods balance the body. Sunlight and clean, natural water balance the body. Loving, kind words to yourself about yourself are nourishing, healing, and balancing for the body. It's really just putting it all together into a happy, healthy lifestyle that makes me healthy. Just rotating, upwards rotation, twisting through the hips, twisting upwards, rotating upwards. Let's get 10 upwards rotations on either side. Bending, extending, rotating. Bending, extending, rotating. Exhale, inhale. Here I am working on my horizontal rotation. Pivoting through the hips, shifting my weight. Movement is just a weight shifting experience. I'm just shifting my weight, practicing balance and stability, rotation through the core, working on my breathing, powering myself up for the day. Taking charge of myself for today. So awesome, you know, most of this stuff you can do with body weight. You know, if you got a couple of dumbbells, a couple of light dumbbells, I don't need big heavy dumbbells, a couple of 5-pound dumbbells, a couple of 8-pound dumbbells, a couple of 10-pound dumbbells. You don't need a lot, a couple of 5s will do. If you got a ball, that's wonderful. If you don't have a ball, you can do this down on the floor as well too. You can always do these things on the floor, but here's one that I like. Across the front of the body, just opening up the front of the body with my chest over top of the ball. So like if you don't have a ball, then I do this on the floor. You can do it on the floor, but if you do have access to a couple of dumbbells and a ball, that's a wonderful thing. I used the medicine ball as well today too. Just, you know, but you could use a dumbbell. You don't have to have the medicine ball. And you don't even have to have a medicine ball. You can just do it with a dumbbell in your hand or a can of soup or a couple of water bottles. But you know what? Just invest in a couple of 5-pound, 8-pound, 10-pound dumbbells. I mean, that's all you'd need, a couple of dumbbells to get started. And, you know, doing a little bit of exercise every single day. It's a little bit of moving and breathing. You know, I've got 30-minute sessions going on every single day. Just tune in every single day for 30 minutes of health at a time that's convenient for you. Here I am working on my push. I can do my push this way, off my ball. I can work on my push that way. It depends if you've got, you know, that type of strength Or even if you have a ball, and that's another reason why I like to do an assessment, to kind of see what you got for equipment just to get you set. Here's another way to do a push, and we can do that on the floor as well too. So if you don't have a ball, we can always do our push down on our mat. You just don't get the range of motion that you do on the ball, which is nice to be on the ball, so you get a little more. But there's the alternative, and if you want on the floor, you can also incorporate the core by getting the feet up or bending the knees. You can do it this way. And you can do your flies that way too, down on the floor. So I ask as well for 15 to 25 of these push exercises, of these different push exercises. And I like to work on also some pulling exercises for the day. So you've got your dumbbell for pulling. So here I am pulling the dumbbell to my side. I want to work on all the muscles along the side body. I want to pull the dumbbell to my side, right? I want to work on my arms. I want to pump blood into my upper body. So I want to do 50 pulls on one side, moving and breathing. Just firing oxygen through the body, just oxygenating my body, just pumping blood and lymph through my body, just waking my body up. I'm just charging myself for the day with my thoughts, my words, and my actions, just taking action for myself. Here's some rowing on the other side, 30, 40, 50 rows. Again, it's not about a heavy weight, it's not about annihilation. It's just about spending some time and care with myself, with this part of myself. I'm working on myself, this part of myself for the day. Just, systematically work on your whole self. Get yourself done every single week and just work on yourself. I got my foundational movements. Just work through the foundational movements. Learn some foundational movements that you like for yourself. Create your own or follow mine. I've got 21 foundational movements. I'm, recording them here for you. Follow the foundational movements if you like. I wanted to make sure I recorded them here for you today. Next one, I like balance. Single leg balance. I want to come over and come up. I want to include my balance and my breath. Exhale and right up, inhale. Exhale and right up, inhale. So it's about balancing yourself with your breath. Just naturally connecting yourself to the energy inside of your body, using your breath as it's intended to rhythmically pump energy through your body. Inhale up, exhale over. This is not new. This is how it's always been done. Movement and breath, just a little bit of conscious movement. And then sitting in, conscious breathing, a meditation, some sort of energy gathering and sharing at the end. Intention and imagination, cultivating energy daily. Just taking charge of your energy for the day, taking charge of your health. Going beyond the balance, just taking my balance to the next level is, hopping on one leg. Can you hop on one leg 30, 40, 50 times? If you can't hop, then you could just work on your balance, or you could just work on your balance kick. Hopping is great. It's aggressive, yes, but you know what? Awesome. If you can do some jumping every single day, I say 20, 30 jumps a day keeps the doctor away. So, if you can hop 30, 40, 50 times on each leg, I want to check that. Or alternatively, you could hop 30, 40, 50 times on two legs. Getting that bouncing right there, that's for the lymphatic system drainage. All right, that's sending a signal to your body that you want to go, you want to perform today. I want to get myself breathing, focusing onto my breath, spending 20, 30 minutes of the day where I'm getting conscious about my breath and my movement and myself, just tuning into myself. Bit of time for love and care for self. Why did that become a bad thing? A little agility, a little bounce, a skip, a jump, agility. It's bending and extending. You know, these are the foundational movements. Bending, extending, carrying your weight, focusing on your breathing, stretching, strengthening, balancing, agility, coordination, discipline, self-discipline, aerobics, and strength, full body. Finishing off today, finishing off my 21 movements, finishing off my physical assessment. This is my mountain climber. Just taking my knees to my elbow, just pulling through the center, through the core, just pulling, pulling, pulling. 30, 40, 50. 2 sets of 30, 40, 50. What can you do? And if you can add the fire breath. You see, the breath work is the key. And that fire breath fires up your energy for the day. Looks like this. It's to see that every single movement actually has a breath work that's associated with it. And we've just lost touch with ourselves and our breath. And we can come back into balance with movement and breath and proper food and a proper healthy mindset. We can fix it all. Lovely friends, have yourself a super happy, awesome, terrific day. I love you. I love you. I love you.